Hi, this is Tami. Welcome to Tami Talk. Our show is to inspire you into a place of healing and freedom. Stay tuned. Hi, and welcome back to Tami Talk Live. There's hope. Thank you, Joe, for my co-host, Joe Heasy, for stopping by. And today, we have it.
Thank you, Joe Heasy.
Yeah, Joe Heasy, we have a guest. We have a guest today.
Guess who?
The phone's ringing.
Phone's ringing. Bring.
Hello? Yes. We have who? Okay, so we have our guest today is John McKay. Thank you, John. Come on in. Yes, come on over.
You on the phone.
Okay. Hey, how are you?
Hi there. How you doing?
Well, we're fine. Thank you for dropping in taking time out of your busy schedule to chat with us on our podcast. How's your day going?
Oh, it's going great. God is good. We're all healthy. You know, we woke up this morning and we can do good work today. So I'm inspired. Thank you for having me as a guest, and congratulations on your excellent show, and I'm very excited.
Thank you for stopping by. So without further ado, give us some information that we've been gnawing at. If you don't mind sharing. We know you're busy, but if you don't mind, please step in. What is a life and day with John McKay?
Well, the life of a day of John McKay is 3 levels: mind, body, and spirit. So mind, stimulating the mind, helping people out, mostly working in the pharmaceutical, medical device, diagnostics industries, bringing life-saving and disease-curing remedies to patients. Body, trying to eat healthy, trying to drink healthy, exercise when I can. And spirit, obviously, thanking the Lord for all the blessings. Make sure I go to church every week, and spending time in prayer, and just trying to be a good Christian, a good Catholic. So, but my day is also about managing time, because I'm in Southern California, but my audience is global. So I have clients and colleagues in Asia and Europe, United States, of course, all the time zones of the U.S., and then of course in Hawaii, Brazil, Australia. So it's a matter of, so there's a website I use called it's like a website where you track time. I literally have in addition to my world clock on my phone, I also have on my website where all these times are, because I'm time sensitive. I'm looking, okay, when can I meet this person, or when is this person actually up, versus that kind of thing. And so I would just say life is a lot easier on the East Coast. That's where I grew up, obviously, because the world revolves around the East Coast. It really does. And so being in sunny California, it's great. It's like living in a vacation spot. But from a business point of view, it's harder than being on the East Coast. So, but anyway, that's kind of how it is.
Okay, so that's good news to know, because I never know how to reach you, because I worry about the time and everything.
Just think 3 hours behind.
Okay, there you go. Now, with that being said, you do a lot of traveling. How has that impacted you? Like, let's start from your education. You're a Baltimore native.
Randallstown, Baltimore native. Go Randallstown. Go Baltimore. Sinai Hospital. Thank you. And thank my parents for always having my brother and I. My brother's a doctor, Wendell, always having us in good schools and good communities. Again, same theme throughout life: mind, body, and spirit. Raised Catholic, Christian, if you will, and then always in sports, but also doing things academically, and no matter what you do, whether it's books, you always want to do something that's intellectually stimulating. So I played sports in Randallstown High School, football, track, and then went to Penn State, played a little football there. But really, I realized that early on that I probably was not good enough to make the pros. Today, that might be a different story, because it's all kind of back in the day, where there wasn't social media. I'm aging myself. Wasn't social media, wasn't all these camps, wasn't all these tryouts. You had to legitimately be drafted, or else you're not in. So I looked around on the Penn State football team. I was like, these people are really here to be in the NFL. I kind of am here to have some fun, but I really want to be a chemical engineer. And so I made the hard decision. I stopped playing and I focused on chemical engineering, and that has shaped my life. The rest of life was a great decision Penn State's #1 school in the world for engineering in particular. So that journey has taken me, being a resident assistant also and enjoying the fraternity there. Those three things have catapulted me around the world since then, because
Okay.
because the world needs fortunately for me, the world needs the talents I have, needs the information I have. And one thing I've always done, Tammy, is like I'm always forecasting what will the need be a year from now, 2 years from now, and
Whoa.
then I go to that need. I learn that need, I master that need. So by the time that need hits, I'm here. I'm like, it's just opportunity. It's the opportunity and preparation part. You look at the opportunity, you make sure you're prepared, and then you
I
go
like
after.
that. I like that. Services. Yep. Now, and that's really good. Like you said, you forecast what's the trend, what's going to be
Yes,
up and at for the next upcoming
always
year.
looking at trends.
Now, when it comes to with you, like you spoke in your fraternity, can you expound more on that and how you started
Yes.
chapter?
Yes,
Okay.
my fraternity, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, the greatest fraternity on earth, has been inspirational from day one. First of all, two loving uncles, Uncle Ronnie, obviously, and Uncle Adrian, members of Omega Psi Phi. And growing up, middle school, high school, I saw what they were doing with this organization. This organization had purple and gold, like my tie, and gee,
Yeah.
they're always in the community, they're always doing something. Oh, by the way, they step too. That looks kind of fun. And there were parties which I couldn't go to, if you will, because I was younger, but somehow they would sneak me in every now and then. And I was like, okay, this
Yep.
organization does everything. It's a Christian-based organization. They do things for the community. They're the best steppers in the world, and the parties are like, you got to go to them. So I was like, wherever
Yeah.
I go, I'm going to find this organization. I'm going to join it. So that's what I did. I at Penn State, you can pledge your freshman year. So when I went to Penn State, three things I knew I was going to do: play football, be a chemical engineer, and join Omega Psi Phi. And I was able to do all of them. And since then, Omega Psi Phi has been very instrumental. We're 750 chapters all over the world. Every place I've gone, all the 32 countries I've done projects in, the 4 countries I've had expat jobs in, two things have been constant: Omega Psi Phi and Coca-Cola.
Okay. Okay.
So you recommend young kids to get into the Omega Phi Phi? Was what you said?
Omega Psi Phi. So here's what I recommend. Omega Psi Phi is not for everybody. Okay,
Okay.
just no organizations, but everyone can benefit from Omega Psi Phi.
Okay.
If you are at a school where we have a chapter there, if you're getting a college degree, then we obviously welcome you. We're a Christian-based organization, but here's how Omega Psi Phi helps people in general. So we have what's called internationally mandated programs, 11 of them. So if you have any students, we have scholarships for you. If you have any people that can write an essay, we have a scholarship for them. If you have anyone that has any talent, we have an annual talent hunt event, which has been going on since Omega Psi Phi is 1911, so this has been going on since then. And matter of fact, we have a trademark on 1911, so that's how. We also the only organization with a charter from United Nations for all the work we do around the world. And so when I worked in China, I was able to help start a chapter there. And then when I moved to Southern California, there was a community called Chula Vista, which we're in, which I was able to help start a chapter there. The brothers here wanted to start a chapter there. We started a chapter there. But most importantly, I'm celebrating my 41st year in Omega Psi Phi, and everywhere I've gone in the world, I've been able to give to the community, help people, and have some fun doing it, and work with like-minded brothers that live up to manhood, scholarship, perseverance, and uplift.
That's great. Now you spoke of a lot of traveling. Like you said, you got the clock of the world all the time. How do you do it? Like,
good question. So here's how you have to do it. You can't. I used to think I was like a robot or cloning myself. No. You have to get your 6 to 7 hours of sleep every night. So what you have to do, you have to work on your time zone, and then where there's overlap, work with other people. I used to time shift, but I found it to be inefficient because if I would try to time shift to match the India time zone or China time zone, whomever, what happened was then I wouldn't be on sync with the rest of the world. So wherever you are in the world, stay on your time zone, and there's going to be an overlap somewhere, and you overlap with people as you do that. So you have to be centered in your time zone. So when I was working in China, I was on the China time zone, and I basically lived on that time zone, and then I interact with people around the world based on that.
So, what are the countries that you worked in? The countries you traveled, like just coming from Maryland, Baltimore to California, the 3 hours get me. But you actually have to go there and work and stay there and learn to live and things of that. That's gotta be a lot.
It's a lot, but again, you know, the same thing comes up: mind, body, spirit. Stay in touch with my wife, stay in touch with my family. You know, and I'm gonna be honest, you Tammy, and all the McKays, Joe, you as well, have been a constant beacon for me. No matter where I am at in the world, I know that you're all there. I stay connected. I try to fly through Maryland. Fortunately, with the kind of job I have, focusing on pharmaceutical, medical device, diagnostics, I'm able to go through Maryland or go through DC because the FDA's there. And
Okay.
so that helps me a lot with business travel. I'm able to connect through that as well. But yeah, I mean, just staying. The key is staying true to yourself, pouring into others, and let them pouring into you,
Ooh,
and that's the magic of it.
I like that.
Okay.
I like that. Any cultures or things that you picked up while traveling to
Yes.
various places?
Every culture that I've ever been in, every country I've ever been in. So I've had expat assignments in the UK, Germany, Brazil, and in China. And then I traveled to 32 other countries just on projects, audits, product launches, you know, operational excellence engagement. What I found is that we are all humans, no matter what the color of our skin. We're all humans. You know, we're scientists have said, you know, I'm a chemical engineer, so scientists have said that we're only separated, like we're 99.999% the same, with just a little bit of skin pigmentation, our own God-given skills, and some personality. So really, humans are the same everywhere. They want their kids to do well. They want security. They want safety. They want to eat well. They want to have fun. I mean, that no matter what language you're speaking or what culture, and that's universal. So you always have a way to connect with people, because if you connect with them, although they may not be Christian, but they hopefully believe in God. If you may not have the same occupation, but they're doing something that they
Okay.
want to be good in. So you just find ways to connect with people, and you know, from a professional point of view, it's been very enriching because I'm able to be like a bumblebee. You know how a bumblebee pollinates flowers around the world. Well,
Yes.
I
Mhm.
pollinate companies' facilities, and I learn some things everywhere I go. But I'm also adding to my toolkit, to my bag of good and best practices that I can share with others.
Now that's got to be a heavy topic because, like you say, now you're an engineer. Your brother Wendell is Dr. McKay, and you guys have to have very interesting conversations because, like you said, you
Yes.
stated as far as pharmaceutical, that's a heavy dynamic within itself. And from that, my takeaway is watching, observing both of you grow up. Like you being an engineer and Wendell being a doctor. I remember coming to you guys' house and you guys were always in the books. You
Yes,
know,
we are.
honestly, it was a schedule. Like everything had a structure to it. And
Yes.
I remember days Wendell would even come out his room. We came
Oh,
over.
yeah,
He
for
was
sure.
walking around with a molecule, just by and by and back. And you the same way. But I admire that. And for anyone that's thinking like a high school student or anyone say you want to do a career change, what are some of the bullet points you would say to become an engineer?
That's an excellent question, and one I've thought about often, and one I've been asked often, because I'm a STEM mentor, educator, and an advisor. And I'm an engineer, so let's use reverse engineering. What you
Okay.
want to do, you want to start with a product that you like or something you're fascinated by, and then what you want to do, you want to find an occupation that gets you around that product, interacting with it, selling it, designing it, testing it, doing something with it if you can. Now, not everyone has the ability to work in what they do, but as long as you can get there, that's what you want. And I use a movie that's out now called Gran Turismo. I don't know if you've seen that before, but in the movie Gran Turismo, we have two brothers. One loves sports and one loves racing. Well, racing is
Okay.
very expensive, so what he does, he races on video games, and he eventually becomes a professional race car driver. It's a true story. So the
Oh
whole
yeah.
idea is follow your passion, and then find something, an occupation or business even related to that passion, and then you'll be very happy because you'll be around a product or a lifestyle or a system that you enjoy. So for me, it was chemistry. So I was always good in chemistry. I was always good in, I'll say, technical things, STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. And my teachers guided me. They said, hey,
Okay.
you like chemistry, you like math. Why don't you be a chemical engineer? When they told me that, I had to look it up. I was like, okay, I know what engineer is. Chemical, that's interesting. I didn't even know. I didn't know anyone. I didn't know. So I looked at it. But then during National Engineers Week, this is a STEM program. They had spend a day with an engineer. So you have to apply for it. You have to have good grades. You'll be interviewed. I was chosen. I got to spend a day with a chemical engineer at a manufacturing facility where they were making soap. I was happy. Then I was like, I found my place. I said, I want to be a chemical engineer. I love making stuff. I love like pulling stuff together, mixing it. I love seeing products get packaged, and I love seeing them go out the truck at the end of the door. That kind of stuff excites me. So, and of course, doing it in a good way, a quality way, making sure no one gets hurt, make sure you protect the environment. So all these things around that really show me not only do I want to be a chemical engineer, but I want to be the kind of chemical engineer that's working on products and working on the manufacturing process. So it's important for people to reverse engineer, start with what they like, work backwards, figure out what occupation they want to be around that. Could be engineering, could be sales, could be anything, could be marketing, and then arm themselves with the right education, the right training, the right certification, the right knowledge to become a sought after and expert in the area. And so I've always tried to be cutting edge, have the
Right.
best certifications, and be the person when people look people up, they're like, there you go, we need to contact them.
Okay, now that's great. Now let me ask you on a personal level. Being an engineer, that means you have to be willing to relocate, travel. How has that been for you? Because as
Well,
you said, you have a wife and you have
yeah.
kids, so you have to think about all of that.
See that I'm glad you brought that up because post COVID that was true. After COVID, it's like people can live where they want to, how they want to, whatever. Not everyone has to travel. Not everyone has to relocate. Not everyone. If a person can find a company, they could stay at that one place their entire life, never relocate.
Okay,
I'm not like that. Okay, I like
okay,
traveling. I like moving around, and I like seeing the world. I mean, if I wasn't a chemical engineer, I'd be a ship captain with my own ship, traveling around the world as a mercenary, delivering stuff and stopping in ports and having fun. That's
yeah,
just how
because
I'm
this
wired.
job, right, this job affords you your career affords you traveling,
That
which is
opportunities,
a bonus benefit.
exactly. I positioned myself to do that by my expertise, by my willingness to travel, by my desire, because I found that not everyone wants to do that. And so if you like it and you want to do it, you really stand out because you become the go-to person that will go around the world, that will go this and do that. Fortunately, I have a loving wife, Christina, who supports that. My kids supported that. But one thing I have to say is that when our kids were young, I pretty much stopped as much traveling as I did. I did some, but not as much. And then when because I wanted to be there for them, I was at almost every sports game. My daughter played basketball, my sons played football. I was there, I was coaching, and so I was actively involved. Then as they got out of high school, and once I saw they really don't need me anymore, they're in college. Okay, gotta hit the road again. Hit the road
Okay,
again and go. So you have starts and spurts. So I've done it all. I've traveled. I've lived different places. I've been there when it's time going out. I've purposely taken jobs where it's like manufacturing related. So the job needs me to be there. So there's no pressure to travel because they're worried about when I leave anyway. So do that when the kids are smaller and then get another global job when they're older and you can go. So
that's great. That's
yeah.
great. So, just to recap, like you say, reverse the engineering, find your passion. Um, I would say to anyone that's listening, especially in high school, stay close to your counselors so you can
Yes.
have the guidance
Teachers
and
and counselors.
guides.
Yep.
And if you love traveling, this is the thing for you. If you're great with math aptitude as well as science, because as you say, there's a variety, it's a plethora of engineers.
Oh, kind of different types. I mean, if you think about any product, an engineer has touched it in its whole life cycle, from designing it to testing it to manufacturing it to handling recalls or complaints to selling it to whatever. And there are a lot of other professions related to that too. But engineering is unique in that if you can hold something in your hand, an engineer was involved. Okay,
Okay,
period. versus like even technology, even like software. If you're using it on a laptop, an engineer touched it somewhere. So that's the nice thing about engineering, is that all the types of engineering that there are, any product out there, an engineer was involved with it. So if you're product based, you don't necessarily have to be an engineer. You could be like the salesperson for it. You could be like the marketing person. You can handle the public relations for it. But the reverse engineering is whatever you want to do in life, start with that and work backwards. But equally important, find people that are doing that. Try to get a mentor, try to find out with them, and try to spend a day with them. You know how they have like take your child to work day?
Right.
Fine, go to work with your parents. But if your parents aren't doing what you want to do, ask them to help find you a parent who's doing what you want to do, and if you can go as their surrogate child,
Exactly.
to spend a day with them, because these are natural programs. I mean, kids normally aren't allowed at work, period. But if to spend a day with the program or National Engineering Week or there's other type of weeks, you want to try to get there in the workplace so you can see and gather intelligence. Is this the kind of environment I want to be in? Is this what I want to be doing? Or do I even want to have a business related to this? So it's all about, everything in life is about gathering information and mastering that information and doing something with that information.
I like that. Now, would you say, this is my last question, would you say for any females that's looking to become engineers, how's the ratio with that? And the only reason I'm inquiring, because I do like our youngest one went for engineering, but she found, like you say, reverse it. So she's working in the field where she's the producer for the fashion world. Her engineering paid off of that.
Exactly.
Then with Ashley, Lee's daughter, she's a construction, she goes out, she wears the whole hat, but I hear that like they were like, engineer is really a man's world.
Well, no, it's not. What happens is, so engineers are engineering, and I would say life in general is hard for women and people of color, period. No matter where you are in the world. That's just, I'm just being honest with you. So engineering is not a man's world. It's just that what happens is you have to find companies, situations that are not against women and are not against people of color. Women of color have it the hardest. They get stuff, from a racial point of view, microaggressions and stuff, men being jerks. And so it's hardest for women. But guess what? Things have evolved to the point where women now have so many groups, so many organizations that are just for all women, but even ones for women of color, that sometimes I even go to them because they have leadership training, they have other training that I wouldn't get anywhere else. They're sponsoring it and they're doing it. And so you have to think of a salmon swimming upstream. Well, they do it every year. It's not easy, but you got to figure out what rivers to go through, how to get through something. And that's true about anything in life. But yeah, it has been tough in the past for women. I mean, look at all the, I don't want to get political, but look at all the rights being taken away from women, even now by certain parties. So it's hard, but it's not impossible. What I really like about the people you mentioned is what they've done. They found their passion. And a lot of times engineering will lead you to a point where, I don't want to be an engineer, but you know what? I like being technical something, or I like being scientific about things, or I like using intelligent things to do something. So you branch off for it. So I know many people that have started engineering, and what that has done, that has stimulated them into a STEM lifestyle, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, or some kind of technical word. They're like, I don't necessarily want to be an engineer, but I want to be technical, and I'll find my way this way. And so,
like you were saying earlier, it's a struggle.
It's a struggle.
When those struggles come, keep moving on. Life is that way.
Don't. So there's a song. I have a hype list. So everyone should have a hype playlist. By the way, and my hype playlist is "Nothing Can Stop Me." I'm all the way up.
All the way up. All the way up.
Yeah, mine. That what I just said to you came from one of the oldest songwriters there is. I don't know if I can say his name or not.
Yes, but everyone. The point is, everyone should have a hype playlist, and then it's my fraternity aspires in this perseverance. You got to persevere. You got to push through. What happens is, it's always 2 steps forward, 1 step back. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Life is full of learning opportunities, full of like, well, that didn't go well as well as I thought it was. You learn from that. You keep going. The key is let nothing stop you. Nothing.
Yeah. What you learn from them setbacks.
And it's funny that you would
It's
say
a learning opportunity.
take your kids to work day. That's when Courtney realized she never wanted to work behind a desk. She said, I can't do a cubicle. I can't be around a lot of people like
There
that.
you go.
Like, I need my own. So I'm steady yanking, like, you're going to college and I'm going to map. And it didn't go that way, but she's the little engine that could, and she made it.
She's loving what she does. She's successful. Absolutely. And that's the key. That's the key, Tami. Everyone has to find their way, find what they like, find what they don't like, and be successful, because there's so many niches out there. You know, and everything you do, like if you take just chemical engineering, there's like 20 different things that chemical engineer can do. You know, and the same thing with, I would say, any professions like that. What is your profession? What products are you working around? What concepts are you working with? What environments are you in? Do you want to just stay at home all the time, or do you want to go out there? Do you want to be? Yeah. So that's the key. You have to find your environment, and also you want to realize that although you may have an office environment most of the time, if you are involved with anything related to manufacturing, fashion-wise, whatever, where it's like the room where it happens, where stuff really happens outside the office, that's okay. It's going to take you there. Fine, be in the office a little bit, then your activities will take you somewhere else.
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, you know what? It's been a pleasure speaking with you, John, and
Pleasure, John.
expanding your borders as an engineer. You have given us a plethora of information to walk
Yes.
away with, and for our listeners to enjoy and write them down. And like you say, mind, body, and spirit are your
Yes.
three first levels. You can't go wrong with that. Be true to your feelings and authentic.
Be true.
And with that, I love you and thank
I
you,
love
and
you,
be
Tim.
blessed.
You're a great inspiration to a
Yes.
lot of black
And
men.
you all are a great inspiration to me, and I thank you for that.
Thank you.
All right?
God bless. Kiss your wife and kiss for me.
Sure will.
Omega, forever.
Thank you. Oh, yeah. All right, take care.
Okay,
All right.
thank you. Thank you again for having our guest today was John McKay. And if anyone needs to get in contact with him regarding the engineering, it's John McKay at AOL. Again, that's John McKay at AOL. And thank Joe Heasy for being my sponsor. Again, that's Joe Moore, CEO of Moore Shore Protection
There you go.
Agency. And that he could be reached on Instagram, Facebook, 443-356-0255. Again, that's 443-356-0255. And again, thank you for connecting with us. It's been great today. As usual, I thank you for tuning in. And please come back. Keep coming back. And don't forget to subscribe, love, hit, like, comment. Please connect with us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, where you listen to your podcast. We do drop out episodes every Tuesday at 3 on a YouTube. And again, where you listen to your podcast, you will find us. Tami Talk Live. And there's hope. Again, thank you for tuning in. And don't forget to come back next week. Love you.
Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to Tami Talk. You can catch us every other week for a new and impactful podcast. We want to thank our sponsor, Joe Moore, CEO of Moore Assured Protection. Until next time, be blessed and go in peace.